We're talking with Macy Wanek, the speech therapist at Fennimore Community Schools. Macy, it's a great pleasure to host you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Look, you've got a pretty amazing story, which I want to get into briefly, but what I'd like to do first is just get some background. In what capacity do you work with students at Fennimore?
Yeah, I work with students with speech and language needs here at Fennimore Elementary all the way up to high school. My youngest kids are 3, my oldest kids are about 17, so I work with all ages. Usually students come to my room. Sometimes in our early childhood rooms, I'll push in down to their classrooms. We work on articulation of speech. We work on different structures of grammar with different kids, learning new vocabulary. I also work with a lot of nonverbal students, so we use different types of devices to allow them to be able to express themselves too. So it's a very different range every single day. I can see anywhere from up to 17 kids a day to down to 13. So right now my caseload's about 35, but depending on the year, it fluctuates.
Now, I'd like to talk a little bit more about your work as a speech therapist, but you've also got quite an amazing backstory, which has led to the reason why we're actually talking.
Yes.
Um, what were the circumstances leading up to you accepting 2 children for emergency foster placement?
Yeah. So I grew up here in rural Southwest Wisconsin and I attended the same school that I work at actually. So from 4K to 12th grade, I've worked in the Fennimore or went to Fennimore and then now I work here. So I grew up with my mom and dad here and my sister. My mom and sister actually work at the school in Fennimore. So I see them every day. We have a 1.5-year-old little girl, me and my husband do, named Winnie. We've been married for about 2 years and then we had our little girl. Um, then I have my 2 nephews, Hudson and Bentley, who we spend a lot of time together. So they're like brothers to my little girl. And then so through school, and I received an email one day about late November that 2 kids were in need of a emergency foster placement. And for some reason, me and my husband had just bought a new home. We kind of just felt like we had enough room and we needed to help. So that's how I felt. So I messaged my husband, and he's so caring and compassionate. His instant reaction was, "Yes, we can do this." So this one of the students ended up staying with us for about a month, and mine and my husband's families are very supportive throughout the entire thing. So this boy spent Christmas through us. I think he told me it was his best Christmas ever. So they really pulled in to help us get him gifts, and he had a really great time. And it was just something that has shaped my life into it was such an amazing experience. I put it into words what it was like. So it's definitely an experience we'll never forget and something that we hope changed this student's life in an amazing way too. And as of right now, we don't have any children with us, but it's something that we are looking to maybe do in the future.
Oh, so the experiences made you think that, oh, well, we've got capacity. Well, let's do this again. That's extraordinary.
Yes. Yes, yes. So I don't think anything time soon. We'll probably get our kids kind of grown up, but then something when our kids are out of the house, something we're looking forward to.
I just want to come back to the comment that you made where one of the children said it had been their best Christmases ever. As you were explaining that, I was wondering whether the children actually realize what's going on and whether they give you much feedback. Do they actually tell you that this is changing their lives, helping them out? Do they get a sense of what's going on?
Yeah, they do. They for the young boy with us, he was a 5th grader, so he was pretty aware of the situation. He actually wrote a thing for his classroom that was talking about that his favorite Christmas traditions. And he wrote that his favorite thing to do was to bake cookies with me and my family. So I think that it shows. I still have that on my fridge because it still makes me tear up every time I think about it. But he expressed like how thankful he was for us, and every time he wears something that got him for Christmas, he likes to come and show us. So I think it does.
Wow, that's incredible. Now, look, not everyone who works in a school community context, whether they be an educator or a health professional like you, can
Mhm.
manage that kind of service. But I have a feeling that it kind of happens based on what you're telling me. In what other ways have you seen people take on extraordinary responsibilities like this?
Mhm. Any educator, our special education, our administration, our therapist, peer professionals, everyone at especially at our school that I have seen, have all gone above and beyond in the roles they play for our students. So some teachers are tailoring every activity to students in their classroom. They're creating different materials for those more advanced students. I see some of our staff coming in at 6:30 in the morning or 5 p.m. at night just to get things ready for their students. And if students can't afford different things, our administration will get a list and they'll go buy it themselves. So I see these different things every day. And to me, it seems just kind of normal. But when you go back on it, it just gives you almost chills how truly grateful we are to be a part of this community. And I'm excited I get to raise my kids here even. So it's just being part of the education system is some days challenging, but it's also so rewarding.
Yeah, do you think that that's particularly local to your district?
I mean, I see it other places too. I've done clinicals in different districts in the same exact way where their teachers are going above and beyond. So I think it's somewhere that goes everywhere, but I'm not sure.
Now, I had a look on your district website, and it seems that there's a very specific reference to catering for Spanish speakers. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Our district does serve a number of Spanish speaking students, but we're proud that our services are designed to support all learners, regardless of their background or their primary language. So our school focuses on creating an inclusive environment where students can access the curriculum and create friendships. Um, this includes supports through the classroom and in and out of the classroom. We actually have a full-time interpreter. We had got him last year and this year in our district who has gone above and beyond for all of our students within our district. So he's pulling kids out, helping them, going and interpreting for families so that we can create that connection with families too. So here at Fennimore, our goal is to make sure every student, whether they speak Spanish or any other language, has tools and support that they need in the classrooms.
So the district is new to me. Just this might sound like an obvious question, but you must have therefore a larger Spanish population in your area. Is would I understand that correctly?
Yep, yep. In Southwest Wisconsin or anywhere really in Wisconsin, we do have a larger growing population of Spanish speakers within recent years, I'd say.
Okay. Now, I also speak another language, not Spanish, and I can imagine being in if I was a Spanish speaker and being in a predominantly non-Spanish culture, that would create all kinds of classroom challenges. Can you tell us about the specific challenges that you see between children who have different, not only perhaps who require support with language generally, but then also the actual language spoken?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Language differences can present challenges in the classroom, but we see them kind of as opportunities for growth as well. Some of the main challenges making sure that the students are fully understanding the academic content. We want to give them the opportunity to learn these different things, but also maintain their home language. That's our biggest goal here. Um, we a lot of times will have like little devices that help translate to the student just to make sure they're following the directions correctly or that they're understanding different content. Like I said, that interpreter, he pulls a lot of the students during other times to help them too if they have any questions or learning different academic content. So um, with the right supports, these challenges can turn into opportunities for connection and growth. So they really do a great job in our district of including the Spanish speakers within our classrooms to make sure that they are getting the academic support, but also making relationships with friends. So it's really cool to see.
Now, your school is using ClassCreator to create classes and to arrange classes, and I guess
Mhm.
there are two angles here. There's the actual creation of classes for just getting that process down and making sure that the school has classes ready to go. But there's that perspective from your side as a clinician as well, in terms of making sure that the balance is right in terms of those students who need special care or extra support with translation. How do you
Mhm.
use the tools in Class Creator to effectively deal with the challenges that you see?
hmm Language needs are definitely something that we consider when creating classes. We try to balance the classroom so that English learners have access to peers who can model language while also making sure they receive the right supports from their teachers or specialists that come in and out of the classroom. We really focus on not isolating different English learners. Instead, we want to aim for like a mix of that encourages inclusion for our students. Class Creator has been super helpful. I personally don't put my classes into Class Creator because I have the same kids over and over pretty much every year. But when I go to a teacher and I say that I believe this student should be with another student or that they should be separated because it will help their learning, then teachers are very good about putting it into Class Creator.
So, do you see the benefit, therefore, from accumulating data about the students as you work with them from year to year? Is that a tool that works well for you in that respect?
Yeah, collecting data is very useful. I mean, I use it every single day. I'm taking notes on my students. Help us look farther than just academics, because we know that's very important. We can consider things as the students' communication styles, their social interactions, and just the amount of support levels students may need. If they need a one-on-one paraprofessional, then we also put that into consideration too. Um, Having that information organized in one place makes collaborating between us specialists and teachers and special educators so easy. So I have heard a lot of great things about Class Creator in that aspect.
Are there any standout features that keep you coming back, if I can put it that way?
My mom, she works here, so I was asking her some about it. But she was talking. She said that the features that she likes the most is being able to put in the behavior supports kids needs, the different academic levels, so it kind of gives a mixture of different kids per classroom. And then I've heard that from a lot of other teachers too, that just being able to put the academic plus the behaviors of some other students is their favorite parts.
Right. As we were saying just before we started recording this interview, in my work as an educator, I've also worked alongside some speech therapists some years ago. So I've got a little window into that world of what it's like to work in an education context alongside
Mhm.
health professionals like yourself. How would
Mhm.
you describe the importance of your work as a speech therapist in the creation of balanced and effective classes? As in, how much of a role do you play, and what sort of insight can teachers gain from people like yourself as they think about how their classes might look for the next year?
Yeah, as a speech therapist, my main goal is to ensure that students' communication and social needs are considered when the classes are created. So, communication impacts every part of learning. So, whether that be following directions, participating in group work, building friendships within the classroom, by sharing my knowledge that I have about those different things, this helps teacher be able to put in the supports or the peers or environments that help the students learn the best. So I can help teachers try to create the classrooms that are well balanced. When students are placed where they can communicate effectively and feel supported, it sets both the teacher and the student up for success. So that's my main goal with being able to help with the Class Creator.
Yeah, look, that's really interesting because something I've seen as an educator is that not every school has this tight connection with professionals like yourself.
Mhm.
And I've also seen a lot of teachers who might be struggling because of the speech and language dynamics in the classroom that perhaps they don't fully understand or can't quite identify because that's not their area of specialty, or it's just something they're not aware of.
Mhm.
If teachers suspect, and this is a question for teachers
Mhm.
who are listening to this conversation, if teachers suspect that their students do have speech and language difficulties, what should they do, and what are the most appropriate ways to raise issues?
Yeah. Yeah. If teachers suspect something, our biggest thing is to tell them to document what they see, to just start taking notes. If it's the students having specific language challenges within the classroom, or if they're having troubles with articulation, or even just difficulties with expressing themselves, we have the teachers start to note those different things. And then the best way to express that concern is either through communicating directly with your speech therapist, emailing, meetings. Within our district, we're all very close with one another. So people come to me directly and say, I'm having XYZ concerns. And so then we kind of go forth with that. Then we kind of talk with our spec ed director, and she kind of gives us a go-to of we need to either refer a child for services or we need to wait a little bit. The teachers' observations are so helpful to guide our interventions or evaluations. So when they come to me, they're always very specific about what needs the student needs. So we also do multiple screenings a year for young children in our area, for 3 and 4 year old screenings. And this is just to get children into services early if they need it. Early identification is so important. And we stress that even through the school system and in the hospital setting. We say we want kids in early because that's going to give them the best success.
It sounds like you are just so invested in the work that you do. Your students must love having you around. Can I just ask, how do you maintain the energy for what you do?
A lot of energy drinks. Kids always ask me if I'm drinking my pop, and it usually does. But just the growth I see from year to year for kids, it just keeps me wanting to do more for them. Our students are so awesome here, and we've created. My biggest thing is creating a special bond with each kid, and that's where we get the best therapy from, is creating bonds with these kids. So I drink a lot of coffee, and that's about it.
Well, Macy, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you. Your story is inspirational, and your students must just love having you around. Look, thank you so much for your time. It's been really great to talk with you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it.